Underdog Daily with the Badge Bros, Jon and Nez hanging out, Black and Yellow Dog app platform of the people, Underdog Fantasy. And it's Christmas morning. The chat is buzzing right now. It's Christmas morning around here, Nez, because we got ourselves opening day. The long con is over. We can stop caring about other sports and we can care about the only sport that truly matters. With birds are chirping, the dirt is raked, the fields are lined. Oh, let's get it, my friend.
I was drafting last night. I was drafting this morning because I was extremely worried about the fill rate and everything. And yeah, we filled that thing much earlier than I think anybody anticipated. So yeah, 40 though. So I was pretty dialed in terms of like getting the volume in, efficiently. We'll see if I drafted good teams or not, but yeah, I just had to make sure I got a solid sweat in today. And to cap it off, I think my last like 10 drafts were just like Pirates Onslaught's auto drafts.
Gotta do it, baby. You gotta just ride that homerism into the start of the season. Love to see it, dude. Yeah, beautiful 9-game slate here. Obviously, as you alluded to, starting quite early here. So didn't know what kind of contest to roll with and what size would fill and that sort of thing. And here the main and the $25 price point contest have filled 2 hours early. So we got the cycle, which is the 10-man draft, still up, and that's gonna fill real quick here. You and I both just did our big fly, the $100 entry there, and then we got the web jam up that we'll be jamming until lock here, which is the same main slate but just at the $10 price point. Yeah, man, a little bit I don't know, a little convoluted these first 2 days of opening day. Tomorrow will be kind of like the more ebbs and flows of our normality, but yeah, I don't know, man. What do you say we just like break a little bit of it down and then just start ripping drafts for the people here because they want to see it in action, my friend. I gotta close this window. We never stream it this time. And the sun is beaming in. It's
you are. You got like the angels that, like shining down on you right now, dude. This is immaculate.
We got the angel shining down on Tyler O'Neill's bat today, bro.
Seven straight years we're going for now.
People are saying.
Crazy.
People are saying.
There you go. That was efficient. Good job.
All right, there we go. All right, man. Let's talk about it. Let's kind of reset everything for people. Lay of the land here. Kind of evergreen notion that projections mean the absolute least in baseball. Just because of the volatility in the sport. And in the like binary outcome, like we look no further than last night. We have the first game of the season. Yankees put up a 7 spot on a so-called ace in Logan Webb there in a what we would consider pitching environment. And Aaron Judge goes 0 for 5 with 4 Ks and scores 0 fantasy points, who would be the middle of the majority of people's Yankee stacks. Right. So it's just a good evergreen reminder in the very first game of the year that this is baseball season and, crazy shit happens out here every single day. So you built out 15 Baltimore stacks. Well, I'm sorry if Gunnar Henderson goes 0 for 4, yet the Orioles score 8 runs and somebody beats you with, their Adley Rutschman version of said stack.
Yep. You're going to see it a lot. Get used to it. I mean, like you said, couldn't have been a more baseball result than Yankees 7-0 and Aaron Judge, not just over, but like 3 Ks. So hilarious.
Yeah, exactly, man. Nez, reminder for everybody, the evergreen starting point for the majority of baseball slates is going to be the weather. We have always subscribed to the Roth hashtag model, and Roth has moved on from the Roto Grinder stuff, but Roto Grinder still has it up on their site. Also, we've referenced multiple times now the Ballpark Pal, where we can find some weather information there, but it's kind of just evergreen that it's the starting point because it affects so much, especially early in the season for run scoring and ball traveling and ballpark environments, that sort of thing. But then it also has the inverse effects of like game cancellations and run suppression and this sort of stuff. So shall we?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Cool. Overarching here, guys, is we got City Field here, which is a better place to hit than PNC. We'll kind of reset some of our principles as we go. Brewers and White Sox are inside. Cubs only 51 degrees with the wind blowing in. We will look at the ballpark pal in a half second, and it looks like really ugly hitting conditions there. So I was kind of soft fading the Cubs chalk there and playing a little bit more of the Matthew Boyd side, and didn't get to Nationals at all. Baltimore and the Twins look pretty decent out there, 74 degrees, a little bit of wind blowing out. We got the Astros at home, which means the short porch in left field there, which, obviously better for right-handed hitting just in a vacuum there, but 2 righties on the mound in that one. San Diego, we talk about the marine layer, but it's actually a decent place to hit when they play the day games this time of year, 76 degrees, but the shadows can come into play in that one, and we got really good pitching on the mound there. Most people's favorite hitting condition here was Great American Small Park here, 81 degrees there, and typically a home run friendly environment. Citizen Bank had the winds blowing out there in this one, and then 92 degrees for the Cardinals game there, Nez, which is kind of like the late night hammer here, despite the run totals being basically the same in every single game here.
Yep. Yeah. Well said. Normally not looking at St. Louis as a hitting environment, but I think today you can kind of think of it as such, given the pitchers on the mound and the weather. I think that'll perk a lot of people's interest, or maybe did whenever they were drafting. I think for me, just to my favorite environment, I think is Baltimore. I'm going to play this Baltimore spot. We played it a lot last year. Playing it this year, I think Joe Ryan's good pitcher. Trevor Rogers was good last year, but definitely some interesting stacks in the game that weren't going every time. So I was playing that one quite a bit from both sides. But the one thing I wanted to bring up, just because we're always doing bro science and stuff, and this is putting the science and bro science here. And did you see the new scoreboard in Baltimore?
Ooh, no, I did not. I need to hear about this.
They put a fat screen in Baltimore and replaced their old one, and it's roughly twice the size. So maybe there's a chance that we lose a little bit of that home run friendliness in Baltimore this year.
Interesting. So bro science is suggesting that it's going to block a little bit of the wind patterns and it's going to affect the batter's eye.
So that's kind of my thought, right? It's really close to the batter's eye.
Okay.
And potentially block the wind pattern, or maybe it's just funneling everything up and over the apartments there in right field. Maybe it just creates a super funnel. It could go either way. Wow. I kind of think it's bearish for home runs.
Wow.
I think it's bearish for home runs.
This is the new alpha. That's kind of unfortunate for my $100 team there, because I did do a Baltimore stack in that one. Gunnar Henderson was my highest projecting player on the slate when I was building out my shit yesterday there. But yeah, okay. All right.
It's probably negligible to be be serious for a second, but
sure. No, I like this.
But hey, no one's talking about it.
Okay.
Maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe they're sleeping. I don't know.
What nobody was talking about last year was the impact of the wind tunnel at Globe Life Field, and we were the only place on planet Earth talking about that one. We were ahead of our times with the Guardians' new wind tunnel. So if there's anything we know, Nez, it's stadium dynamics out here. So you might be ahead of the curve with this one, dude.
Just be on the lookout, man. See if some balls die that should be going out from out of right field, and
I love it.
Adjust accordingly.
Nez, I'm going to bounce back and forth between the unabated lines. The unabated lines are better used for just who's favorited in spots like that, because what we'll end up seeing on the vast majority of baseball slates this year is a whole lot of 8s, 7s, 9s, 9.5. And what actually matters more is the individual team which is receiving said run total, because it's not created equal, right? It's not split down the middle there. So I'll bounce back and forth between unabated and the ballpark pal here, but instead of just going full game by game and stuff, just so we get more drafts in today and we talk about actual ADP and stuff, just looking at the overarching here, what were some of your favorite stacks that you were getting to early on the day with your drafts?
Yeah, chalk was for me at least was Philadelphia. Like we mentioned yesterday, but just to reiterate, a lot of good pitching on the mound everywhere today. So, there's not going to be one giant standout spot by any means, but decent hitting conditions in Philadelphia. You got Schwarber and Harper, lefty, going up against Eovaldi. So I did a lot of Philadelphia stuff, and just kind of playing the Schwarber chalk, and either doing for Schwarber stacks or like Schwarber one-offs with different stacks. But I was kind of all over the board today, like just really kind of spreading things out. But doing a lot of the Philadelphia stuff, and then like Yandy and Junior for the Rays too was some of my like favorite duos.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like where your head's at there. Honestly, I was kind of soft fading a little bit of the Philadelphia stuff, not because I didn't think it was a good spot, like definitely a good place to hit, good hitting conditions, and also those power lefties going up against the righties, just because I was trying to do some more of the contrarian scrolling and get like ownership discounts. So for me, it was Junior and Gunnar at the top were like kind of like my two targets. And then it was like scrolling for stacks from there. So it kind of naturally led me away from the Philly stuff. Not that I don't believe exactly what you're saying here. It was just the way in which my rosters were coming together that it lent me to a little bit more of the Baltimore side of stuff at the top end of draft boards and the Rays. But I really like your point about like with all the aces going and stuff like this, that if there was ever a day for the chalk to be the most fragile it's ever been in the history of baseball, it's with all the aces going. So you can see it reflected in the individual totals on the ballpark sims here. Like every single game on the slate, and this will not be normal going forward, is between like 3 and like 4.1. It's effectively like every team looks the same in the S words, right? And we don't have Dodgers on the main slate, obviously, and they would be the outlier at like a 4 or 5. When we start getting slates with Coors or wind blowing out at Great American Small Park or wind blowing out at Wrigley with bad pitching on the mound, we're going to see 5s and 6s and 7s even at times when it gets to the Coors Field stuff. And the chalk will look so much stronger than a day like today. So my biggest thing was just like, we don't know shit. It's opening day. Don't get consolidated on the same stuff everyone else is getting consolidated on. And I started playing, Angels and White Sox and like scrolling within my my Boston stuff further than anybody else would and stuff like that.
Yeah, so did I. To be clear, it's just like favorites in terms of like chalk or what I named, and then I did a ton of like double bubble stuff. I did some Mets stuff. I did some Reds stuff. I did not a lot of Tigers. Maybe could have gotten some more Tiger or Pod. Well, I didn't do any much Tigers, but I meant Padres either. I did like a couple like one-off Tatis. I think I have one like Padres onslaught just in terms of like the big 3 pitchers on the mound today and like stacking against them. Like one Wyatt Langford, like a couple Wyatt Langford one-offs, but like being comfortable with stacking against these aces just because exactly what you said, people are way too confident early in the season. Like it's good to do it later in the season for sure, but even better at this point in the year where I think the variance is cranked up to 11. Where like you have no idea if Paul Skeens is going to get off to a good start or not. We have no idea how like these guys are going to fare in their first start, and people are way overconfident in how ready these guys are to start the year. So I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, awesome. Well said there, my friend. One other just one thing that you said there when I was thinking, I bookmarked something from before here because you noted we don't know what kind of like start guys are going to get off to. Here you go. MLB Dream from FTN here. Check this out. There we go. Share this. So these are the pitch counts for every starter that is going today in their last outing and sometimes prior to that. So I thought this was kind of like a good indication of like who's ramped up and who could go full today. So it was kind of bullish for Garrett Crochet despite his spring being really bad. It was kind of bullish for Jacob Mizrowski with the 86. There was kind of bullish for Matthew Boyd with the 87. But we didn't really know what we're going to get today, and we don't really know how far and extended guys will be because it is the first start of the year. But yeah, just to double down on that notion, I just wanted to share this with people.
Yeah. This is that's really cool. I hadn't seen that yet. That's really helpful.
Drop that in the chat for everybody and give it a retweet on the X machine so people can tap into that. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's we'll do the pitching thing on the site, and we'll do a little bit of the ADP thing, and then we'll just start building out some teams, talking about some individual bats that we like. But I just wanted to reset the resources for everybody. Much like NBA guys, as the lineups progressively come out, Underdog tweets them out here, and we'll instantly have surprises, even on a day where we think we're not going to have any surprises, like Jackson Chourio all of a sudden is on the IL, and he was getting drafted all day, and people thought he was going to be leading off today. We'll see some lineup changes based on like handedness of opponent and that stuff, but kind of just encouraging to see JJ Weatherholt leading off there. Yeah, anything else that you've really noticed from the initial lineups rolling in there, Nez? Just a reminder to everybody that the Twins are kind of like the magic of our lives when it comes to baseball. They get all their shit out really, really early for us. There's other teams that hold their stuff closer to their vest. But yeah, just thoughts on anything you've seen lineup wise thus far.
Nothing too crazy. In terms of the Twins, I was hoping Royce Lewis would be hitting higher than 8th, but I guess he's got to earn a premium spot for himself. But I was doing a lot of Buxton and Keyshaw. They're hitting 2 and 3. Good to see Warner starting against a lefty, man. He's looking, if that holds all season, and I think it will, because I don't know who else they can really afford to put out there. Him hitting against lefties, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, I like it, dude. Kind of like evergreen thing in the past. There was the Rocco Baldelli era of the Twins, was that they would pinch hit for anybody at any given time. That was kind of another macro principle. That was also true of the Giants back in the day. And then some teams that were like way more stagnant were like the Braves and the Padres and stuff. So we'll see if some of this stuff holds true moving forward, but just resetting some of our macro principles there. It is really encouraging to A, see him in versus a lefty, and B, hopefully stay in versus a lefty. Same could be true or not true of the Tigers, who have a propensity to pinch hit all the damn time as well. So we'll see with that lineup with the Kerry Bonses of the world, whether we get Matt Verling in there instead at times or whatever.
Yeah, we'll see. But they should let him hit, in my opinion.
Yeah. Shout out to our guy Speed dropping off 5 Badge Bros memberships as he rolls in here. Much love to you, my friend. And then he goes, John Warner, what the fuck? I don't know. What did I do? What did I do this time? Giving away the alpha? I don't know, man. Appreciate the Badge Bros memberships. We'll make good on those. Probably do. I kind of want to do forward facing tomorrow, but we'll definitely do a paywall at some point, or at least multiple of it next week as well there. But I kind of want to get, baseball off and running forward facing for people.
Yeah, I'll probably do like a no strip tomorrow night too. So
got it. Okay, beautiful. Oh, I got gifted a Mlb somehow. That's hilarious because I'm not like logged in.
That happens all the time.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I think it's maybe like people who view the channel frequently, but then don't. Shout out to Bindles, who's doing the Lord's work and still drafting NFL on opening day. Him and Davis, only guys in the world right now. Love to see it. Okay, Nez, let's jump back over to the Black and Yellow Dog app here and talk about some of our plays, some of our stacks. And let's start with pitching, man. Kind of evergreen reminder for us is it's really hard for pitching to separate on our site. Wins and quality starts just mean so much. So like those extra 5 points that get tacked onto a score after the game completes can go a long ways, especially because the threshold for scoring on Underdog is lower than on like the redacted sites and that sort of thing. So like the mean projection for a lot of these guys on our scoring format is between like 8 and 12. And even when we're dealing with the aces early in the season, you really need that extra 5 points to push things up.
Yeah. It's a really big deal. And also, micro point, but if the slate ends, you're sledding the end of the slate, you're sitting high, you think you got 1-1, you got a guy behind you, you're like, oh, the slate's over, he's got a pitcher from that game, and you think you got it won. You be patient and wait for that win and quality start to hit the lineup, because it takes a minute. So don't count your chickens before they hatch, man.
Yeah, it's the NBA stat correct of our generation, except for we know it's coming every single slate.
Every single time.
Yeah. Joel hitting on something, Weatherholt not in the player pool. I did not look for him, but there are a couple rookies missing right now because when I was doing my White Sox stacks, I wanted to get Murakami in the middle of the lineup there, and he's not in the pool either. So yeah, please just keep making notes of them, and we'll keep forwarding along to the draft for the draft team there. So yeah, I spelt Weatherholt wrong, but yeah, Weatherholt's not in there. You are right. All right, Nez. So what tends to happen on days with big time aces is the ownership really funnels to the top and not enough scrolling is done because there are so many good clickable names with really high strikeout rates at the top of things here. Of the big tier, let's call it, where ADP was all in the first round for these three, I was clicking more bats than arms, I'm not going to lie. And then I think I led myself to having more like Miz and scrolls than most people will have. So we will see how that ages. But just in general, what was your approach to pitching today, and what were your favorites of this upper echelon group?
I was really flat. I liked all three of these guys. I was doing a lot of Skeens, but I'm not sure what the strikeout matchup is going to be like for him. But I'm playing Skeens, bro. He's on. They made the slate so we could draft Skeens. I'm going to draft Skeens. Didn't do like a ton of Scooball. I did more Crochet than Scooball today, mostly just because of like ADP, the slight difference there, and I think the Padres matchup there is kind of interesting. I think they match up kind of well against Scooball with all the right-handed bats, and Crochet I just think is going to mow tonight. So, or today, I guess. So that was sort of the process there. But I was doing a lot of double bubble against those guys when I wasn't drafting them, just to maximize the leverage. The scroll pitcher, pitching today is so sick, right? Like Hunter Brown against like the Angels, so I think the Angels are like low-key nice, but they were a good strikeout matchup last year. He could go nuts. Miz against the White Sox, who improved at the middle and end of last year, but the Miz is just so dirty that he could go like 10 Ks in 4 innings. Sanchez just like mad efficient. The Rangers I think are pretty questionable as a lineup, so he I think makes a lot of sense. But like my favorite scroll I think was Matthew Boyd. In that like low run total, SP8, not a sexy name, but just the way that he pitches. And I didn't even know that he was like, one of the more ramped up pitchers. I thought he had like one of the best chances of earning a quality start today. I don't know about a win, but because of like, the competing environments for runs. But I thought Matthew Boyd was pretty live to make it through 6 clean, given the run environment, given the Washington lineup that doesn't match up well against lefties.
Yeah, I love it, dude. Yeah, they their best hitters are left-handed, which does not bode well for matching up against lefties, and they strike out a shit ton. Like, look no further than their best hitter in their lineup with James Wood, who, at times in stretches last year had like a 40% K for like literally 80 game stretch, like just wild kind of stuff. And then you factor on the ballpark PAL modeling here. Like, look at this Wrigley Field with the 51 degrees, like just a minus 25% on the home runs, minus 17.9 on the base hits, and then a minus 25% on the runs in that environment. So I was in lockstep with you there. He's also projecting very well in the BAT X in Cardi's model there. Cardi's modeling, obviously Logan Gilbert's not on our slate, but he went Skubal, Crochet, Boyd, then Miz. So as you guys can see, like his projections, this is obviously FanDuel redacted scoring there, which is the closest we have to ours, but so a little imperfect when we're looking at things. But yeah, a lot of the models and a lot of the stuff that's leading you to that make a lot of sense, dude.
Yeah. It's directionally accurate, if nothing else.
Yeah. Just to reset what Nez is referring to with the double bubble stuff, that is stacking against the 100% top owned arms on a stack or on a slate. And the reason in which you would do that, not that we don't think, hey, like Garrett Crochet's a good, pitcher. It's the fact that like, hey, he's in Great American Small Park where there's a little bit of wind going out with a primarily right-handed power laden lineup against him. And Crochet was really bad in spring for what it's worth and might not be as stretched out as some of the other aces didn't pitch in the WBC because of that kind of stuff. Now you can fight till we're blue in the face about, hey, he was working on stuff in spring and this sort of thing. Like that doesn't necessarily matter. It's more just like, hey, he's 100% owned and you could sink 1/6 of the field in all those lineups if he doesn't put up greater than 4 fantasy points or something like that because he gets homered against 3 times or something.
Yep. Yeah. Just all those things, are just like bullish add-ons as to why it's a good little double bubble spot. I played a lot of Reds today.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. Good stuff, man. I'm just looking at my stuff. I got 1 in the 100 and then I got 33 in the main. So not bad for a West Coast bro waking up at 6,
Yeah. Good work, man. Considering how quick things locked. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I needed that I don't know what the word is.
Words of encouragement?
Yeah, words of encouragement.
Type of deal?
Yeah. Okay. Anything else on the pitching standpoint? Like how far did you go? Did you get to Trevor Rogers at all? Did you get to Joe Ryan, who are kind of like a little bit of leverage in the opposite direction because Baltimore's going every single time? Yeah. Did you get to any of that? Did you like Peralta against your Pirates? How far was too far today?
I did as low as Boyd. I didn't get too much further than Boyd.
Cool. Yeah. Just so narrow band, but like the ownership discount you're going to get from like SP8 to like SP5 is going to be stark enough to make it contrarian enough on our site.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Yeah. Respect it, dude. Let's talk about some of the stacks and some of the isolated bats that we liked. I think both of us really liked Junior Caminero as a pick to click today. I think both of us liked Gunnar. The Phillies kind of stand out. Those left-handed Phillies. Trey Turner can get it done, even though it's righty-righty with his legs as well there. Yeah, thoughts on anybody else that was like really popping for you that were kind of some of your favorite targets?
Jordan.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, Jordan ADP 9, one of the best matchups today, going against Soriano, who we liked going into going in the dinger. He was really fairly priced in the dinger. He made a lot of sense and had some a good profile. But in terms of today's slate, probably one of the worst pitchers on the slate. And in Houston against Jordan, who, hey, healthy Jordan, man, we got to play him while we can.
Sure, yeah.
So. I just thought was like a really, really good pick if you were just like trying to jam points in a lineup.
Cool. Yeah, no, I like that. I was actually kind of upset that you took him from me in our draft there. My plan in the $100 draft was to go Gunnar and then Junior, and then Junior got sniped. And then I was going to go Gunnar and Jordan, and you took Jordan. And it was going to do the 2-man, and then I was going to do a 3-man Angels stack and try and be the only guy in the contest who had an Adele, Neto, and insert other player, probably Michael Nelson. Who am I kidding? But that was kind of my plan, and it got buoyed by you and Car Park there. So I had to pivot on my toes there, and I ended up going with kind of like a contrarian Baltimore team.
Yeah, unfortunately for you, I was just, I guess, to have like a macro $100 conversation, single entry.
Sure, yeah.
I'm not sure how quickly I'll veer off this depending on the results, but like I think I'm going to stack a lot less than $100 and kind of treat it like a cash game.
Yeah, interesting. I think I'll go the complete opposite, and I'll just build 4-mans and 5-mans that have less dupe potential, but like are binary outcome lineups, like they're just first or last in that contest. But I don't know, 24 entries, floors not roars might be the answer.
We'll find out.
Yeah, it's just so hard on any given day, even if you pick the quote unquote best plays, to just ensure that like every person in your lineup scores fantasy points unless they're correlated.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, because like the best hitters in baseball, like they get a hit 1 in 3. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to be the guy who finds every hitter who goes 2 for 3 each day.
It is, but you know, at the same time, these guys project well. They're good hitters. Like, I don't know. You know, I'm not trying to hit super ceiling. I'm trying to just like score points.
Okay.
With those ones.
Yeah. All right, dude. Let's talk about some of the contrarian stacks and some of the hitters we got to in said contrarian stacks. Who were some of your favorite there? I did a decent amount. I think I did a decent amount of Boston, a little bit of the Reds, those Angels ones that I talked about. Yeah. What teams were you kind of like interested in, and how far did we go?
In terms of like how I drafted today?
Yeah, like stacks and then players. We'll talk about some isolated players within them that we like or dislike.
Do you want my contrarian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a lot of Reds for contrarian stuff.
Okay, cool. Who of your Reds were your favorite?
Not Ellie.
Yep. Evergreen reminder that we like Ellie from the left side more than we like him from the right side, and facing lefty today. Yeah.
So I did a lot of like Gino, McLean, Sal, and Steer, and kind of like mix and match those guys for outfield stacks. I did like one Mlb as well. Yep. Just kind of threw him in there. But just kind of playing this contrarian stack in small park here, and see what happens. It should be pretty low owned, man. All 35s. Crochet's got that high ADP. So yeah, I thought that this had pretty strong potential.
Cool. Yeah, I like it. Not a ton of outfielders to mix into the stack because TJ Friedel's a lefty and probably moves down in the lineup a little bit today when it's lefty, but not a given. He could still lead off for this team. But I was kind of playing it as like didn't really want any of Friedel, so it does leave you with like only Mlb. I imagine Spencer Steer will wind up getting outfield eligibility in the near future here because that's where he's going to reside. But Tyler Stevenson, lefty killer. McLean feels good. Suarez, I mean, damn near hit 50 nukes last year, and he's a lefty killer as well. So some good ones there. Anybody else that we want to shout out here? So some other just like isolated bats that might be pick to clicks for us.
What were some of the one-offs I did? I did a little Wyatt, like I mentioned. Now, like maybe that's good, maybe that's not. Who knows? Like that could potentially, like I think in hindsight, maybe it was better to do like Seager, just because of the changeup for Suarez or for Sanchez could actually probably be a tougher matchup for Langford than Seager. But I did some Langford like for one-offs. Trying to pull up some teams that I did where I can grab you some other like one-offs that I was messing around with.
Yeah. I like the shouts in the chat. Sal Stewart was good. Yeah. Tyler O'Neill, just an absolute lock in the model to homer again on opening day. Love that. Yeah. Boyd and his 2 strikeouts. Ryan Jeffers, a good pick to click, hitting higher in the order than Royce Lewis. And just, we love Ryan Jeffers versus lefties. That's kind of an evergreen one. Rake Bowers I had on the screen there, and I had Rake Berger, aka Jake Berger and Jake Bowers, who are both guys hitting in the middle of the order, or presumed to be hitting in the middle of the order with some big time pop with handedness advantages there.
Yeah, I like those calls. In terms of like deep scroll one-offs, it's sort of hard to like pinpoint. I was doing a lot of O'Neal Cruz, of course, right? Cheap,
Mm-hmm.
high EV, just like give me a home run to tack on to like to a stack to differentiate. And then I did a lot of like Wilson Contreras too, like one-off Wilson Contreras. He was a popular one for me going up against Abbott today, lefty.
Yeah, I think Boston was one of. I mean, we were praying for Andrew Abbott regression all of last season.
Yeah,
Especially with the righties. I did play a lot of Boston today, and I did kind of like soft fade some of the lefties, like with Roman Anthony and a little bit of Duran and a little bit of Willer, but like kind of soft faded them, and I did pair them primarily through the infield. And I actually really like Caleb Durbin as a scroll there as well. So I was doing this Story Contreras Durbin, like some 2s and 3-mans out of that. I also did a Carlo Narvaez or two in there who's probably going to hit in the middle and has some pop. So yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Eggers sustain 5-man Bostons. Thank me later. Yeah, Josh Lowe feels like a good one if you do the Angel stuff. Like I was doing Adele and Neto primarily just as my 2-man. But yeah, Josh Lowe getting to him there feels good.
I was doing some Adele as well. Yeah, I think the Boston stuff is going to be like overwhelmingly paired with Roman Anthony, which maybe isn't bad. He's a stud, but the hype is so strong on him right now that I wanted to kind of build the contrarian Red Sox stuff without him and hopefully, have a better one-off than Roman Anthony if he doesn't do well. And I didn't do any Jarren Duran with those either.
Yeah, I like it. Just in a vacuum, like Nez and I talk about this a decent amount, and we'll continue to talk about it. But like spots that we're trying to find, like either one-offs or like tack-ons, like we kind of always skew power first because power just plays so well on our site. Like it's 14 points for a home run, and like that instantly just rises everything. Whereas some of like the more accumulator profiles, like we want to play like some leadoff guys, we want to play whatever, but they're more of like stack only candidates for us. So like when we're talking one-off guys, we'll probably skew to the power side of things, and then when we're talking like stack eligible guys, then we'll get more of like I would never use Bryce Terang, who's like getting drafted almost 100% of the time as a leadoff hitter today in a stack that people like. I would almost never use him as a one-off. Now, whether that's good or bad, that we can debate that, but like I would always use him as like a stackable guy. Same with Christian Yelich, like a 20. Even though I think it's a good Christian Yelich spot today for a home run where you have a fly ball pitcher going up against him, but like, yeah, I don't know. Like, do you want to expand on that at all?
No, I agree. I think it just like intuitively makes more sense. Right? Like if these accumulator types or these people that we label as accumulators, tend to score with their teammates where like solo bombs come from the guys that hit bombs, So if you're doing one-offs, it just makes more sense to make that uncorrelated bet with a guy that has the best chance to put up double-digit points without the help of teammates,
Right.
Just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Also, just like some other stuff, when the lineups aren't out yet, obviously using roster resource on Fangraphs to project the potential upcoming lineup today and just kind of like correlating some of your lineup spots. In the season-long streets, we talked so much about like, hey, the effects of stacking are like a net positive because they're playing a series versus a team and they're then getting into the bullpen together and they're getting whatever. On the daily street stuff, we like to correlate lineup spots so much more, right? So it's like as much as we kind of maybe could have been like, hey, we like Royce Lewis from like a power perspective versus a lefty today, pairing him with Buxton, that feels great. As soon as we find out that he's hitting like 8th on the day, well, I'd probably rather have Ryan Jeffers, who's hitting right behind him, because that's, more positively correlated, even if we slightly prefer Royce Lewis as a hitter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well said.
Okay, cool. Some more news rolled in while we were going. We get the Nationals lineup there, which is just kind of hilarious, to be honest. But Brady House, once upon a time, kind of like failed prospect, hitting third there in the middle. That is that's a rough looking opening day lineup, but hey, it's baseball. Maybe we score some runs no matter what. Tommy Pham signs a minor league deal with the Mets there, a little insurance policy for the vet. As we saw, Jackson Churio moved to the IL, so that leads to Terang leading off, Willem Contreras behind him, Yelich, Andrew Vaughn, who was really hot at the end of last year. That could be a nice little contrarian stack to the Brewer stuff that's going every single time. If you just go down a tier and get to like, Vaughn, Bowers, Frelick, Hamilton, like if you just get to that side of things, there you go. It's mentioned in the chat already. There, scrolling down to Hamilton, like just being like the contrarian side of that instead of like playing the same thesis, but just with like some lesser owned bats. Basallo hitting above Ton in the 5-hole there. That's bullish for the end of season bags. And then both Andujar, Sheets, and Roman Laureano all in the lineup together today. So that's good because we thought maybe it was 2 guys for 1 spot there.
Yeah. Also, while you were talking, we got the Red Sox lineup.
Oh, nice. Let's check that. I'll give it a refresh here.
Pretty interesting. I mean, not that I don't think it's much of a surprise, but Willer Abreu facing a lefty. Okay.
Yeah, love to see it. That's bullish. Oh my goodness, we got goated right here. Resident baseball expert, our guy Best Ball Alec dropping off 50 Badge Bros memberships. What a beauty. Best Ball Alec's been on the program multiple times here. Second place in the gauntlet last year for the football contest. He won a week in football season as well, and he qualified for the football dog bowl last year. So much love to him, and he's been writing a bunch of stuff, guys. Go check out both his Twitter page and on FTN. He's been sharing his dinger thoughts all year long, deep in the streets with the best ball baseball stuff. You can find him at Best Ball Alec right here. I'll drop his link in the chat for everybody as well there. He's got the Substack going on. But yes, man, happy opening day from the Fantasy Grinder there. Much love, my friend.
I need to know, I didn't get a chance to ask Alec if he's a Mets or a Yankees fan. So I am very
he's
curious.
a Yankees guy. He's a Yankees guy. Him and his dad got into Underdog by drafting baseball together as Yankees fans.
Okay. Yeah. I knew he was from New York. But yeah, I wasn't sure if he was a Yankees or Mets. All right, well, good start to him.
Speaking of devil, and he's a great son.
Incredible.
That's unbelievable. That's
really what it's all about.
Dad's a Mets fan. There you go.
Wow.
Dad's a Mets fan.
Dad has some honor.
What up, Awen, as well there. I will leave that on the screen for a little bit there, but go check out Best Ball Alec on FTN, his Substack, and on the X Machine there. Link in the bio. Much love, my friend. Dude, just looking at some of the pick-to-click stuff, just in general, like, hey, look at how low like some of these implied home run totals are in the S words here, just given like some of the hitting conditions and how good the quality of pitching is today. But yeah, some of the guys that were popping here, Schwarber, Caminero, Wilson Contreras, who we talked about, Adele and Neto were quite a bit up there. Obviously, binary outcome guys, more so Adele than Neto, binary outcome guy with, big swing and miss, but also big time power. Ton is up here. Jorge Polanco, a guy that I didn't get to at all. So like him and Soto as like a contrarian Mets kind of thing. Also Lindor in the opening day lineup, which we weren't 100% sure that was going to happen. So that's aging pretty well for the best ball bags. Just thoughts in general on any of the home run calls you're seeing here.
Pretty interesting stuff. I thought I saw a crazy one from the Reds, but I think I was looking at the wrong page there where I thought he was calling Ke'Bryan Hayes to hit a homer. But
there's a Delta page now. So there's a expectation relative to net on a given day. So that's probably what you were looking at. So you're probably
Okay.
seeing that like Key Bryant has a slightly better chance today than any other day. And by that, that discrepancy, he was pushing ahead kind of thing.
That makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I think we should do some drafts and do a pick 'em here with some of these plays.
Yeah.
I think we gotta cook up a couple of these home run pick 'ems for the day. Let's check in on some price tags.
Yeah, let's cook something up here.
We got some boosters in there, 50% booster. I'm just searching by home runs today. Let's see if we can get some price tags that we like. Wow, O'Neal Cruz with only a 222. Man, Michael Busch less than 2 with the wind blowing in there. Wow.
Yeah. He had a lower option for a second, but they ended up taking it down.
Mm-hmm. Murakami with this 375.
I like that one.
You. I see you.
Yeah. I played that one once today.
Okay. Who else was kind of like guys that you were looking at price tag wise?
I was looking at the Twins.
Okay.
Seeing
about
thinking about
Jeffers?
some of those guys.
Dude, Ryan Jeffers versus
All right.
lefty. Let's get it.
All right.
Use a little boost on there. Oh, we got to make 3 to use the boost. All right, we're not doing that. I got another boost. Got to use 3. Damn it. 40%. Got to use 3. These guys. All right. 25 gets us 1,000 on that little Murakami, but plus Ryan Jeffers. That's for our guy Jasta in the chat there.
Yep.
There you go. Jeremy Pena out of the starting lineup, Junior says.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was a shock.
Needy with an absolute flex in the chat. Underdog isn't giving him boosts anymore. Okay, we get it. You're so good. Like what a shout. Love to see it.
Paredes hitting third, man.
Dude, let's get a little Paredes going here.
Can't draft Esoc.
Can't draft him.
Dude.
Let's see what Esoc's working with. Oh, Numi's too scared. Numi's too scared, bro.
Unbelievable. I had a team. I lost it. I think Esoc was like 25% drafted, maybe less in the dinger.
Paredes hitting third. Enjoyer. Love to see it. Oh man. This is the petition, man. I'm glad that our guy Project Mayhem just got off work, but like we're starting the protest right now that this should be a natty holiday.
Should be.
Should be indeed. All right, Nez. I'm sure a bunch more home run calls are going to come into our mind as we rip a couple drafts. Let's get in the lobbies here and see what it looks like.
All right.
No pick'ems in NY? Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. 15% ESOC. Love to see it. Rafaela goes yard. I like that shout. I mean, he's always hitting at the bottom of the lineup, so he's a guy that's like a little tougher to get to. But like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I liked him in stacks a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good contrarian tack on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Where did we end up getting Durbin hitting? Was he hitting third or fourth?
I think it's fifth.
Fifth? Okay. I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah, he was really, really low on, so or should be. So I like that call.
Yeah. Actually, just before we start here, knowing that this is a different contest than the previous contest, tap in here. 33 and 1 in the big fly there. Let's see what the exposure came out. So almost 40% junior. Yeah, Gunner, Jordan. Yeah, so exactly what I was saying. These were all the spots that I liked. More Pete Alonso than I thought, but probably a stacking thing. More Yandy than I thought, probably a stacking thing. Caleb Durbin at 14% there, mixed with the Story and Wilson Contreras. So, yeah, that's where I was living. A little bit of Baltimore, a little bit of Boston with some contrarian scrolls. Junior as a one-off and as a stacking partner. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of a little like chalky, I guess, but I don't know. As long as I paired it intelligently, it could age all right.
Yeah. I was thinking a lot more about like roster construction and stuff, and I didn't, I'm not like a quant, so I couldn't put a value on it. Let's make this pick here.
Yeah, where have you been going with this?
I think like Jordan.
Okay. Sounds good to me. I did notice, we talk about it, especially early in the season before guys get eligibility and designations, that like the outfield stuff is a little scarce, and it does funnel people to the biggest overlap you'll see in builds is outfield picks.
Yeah.
Junior plus Jordan, and then build out contrarian 3-man.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
So, but my point that I was getting at was like, 5-man stacks are very popular in these games. They're pretty popular, and from a contrarian standpoint, and I think people, myself included, will try to replicate 5-mans, but do it, the same way that everybody else is doing it, and not doing it contrarian enough. And like, would you say that like a 4-1, meaning, obviously like 4 of an onslaught and then just like one off that just separates you from everybody else while doing the exact same thing as everybody else, like just infinitely better than doing like just a 5-man stack? Just like that one piece giving you just like...
I think the math will agree with you on it, where you have like one of these first round guys, then you have a 4 contrarian stack, and then you still have like a highly projecting pitcher who's in the top 6 will do better than the 5-man onslaughts with a contrarian pitcher. Yeah. Like, I think the data will back that up. And we had some of the macro data. I think it was Paid who did some of the macro data for us like 2 years ago. And we talk about this, and maybe it's a good mental reset for everybody, that like baseball is so fun because, number one, we don't care about combos. The GMs are going to exist, and you just live with it. And in a vacuum, they're very hard to win with. What do you think, dude? Angels or Reds?
Let's do Angels, because Reds is kind of tough because you need an outfielder, and you'd have to do Mlb, and I don't love Mlb.
Okay. If we're gonna start with outfield, you want to start with Adele?
Yeah.
Okay. Take Adele here, and then probably queue up Neto or Trout next.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go with the Boston stuff from Hochberg there. What you'll see is the emergence, like especially if you spend some times in the rooms, is you'll see like Gunnar plus Alonso's paired a lot. Like Pete Crow Armstrong plus Bush paired a lot. The Boston guys paired a lot in this fashion. Like, and once you start noticing that like there's instant value to just playing anybody that nobody else is playing.
Yep. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of repeating combos, a lot of familiar builds. Like you'll see a formula and a pattern like pretty quickly the more you do these, unlike on a given day.
Yeah, and NBA it makes sense because the projections aren't binary, right? Like they're accumulating projections, and like Joker should go number 1 every single time because he's going to push up like 15 points higher. Whereas like if you look at baseball projections, and we can do it with like Cardi, for instance, is like the here you go. We'll see the hitters. I don't even know who his highest projecting hitters were today. Dodgers and then Gunnar and stuff like this. But like the hitting projections are like 9.6, 9.65, 9.63, 9.4. Like they're like, you can't score a 0.1. You could score it in basketball. You can't score it out here. It's either you get a double and it's worth 6 points, or you score a run and it's worth 2 points, or you don't, right? So it's like it's just kind of like the factors of like mean projection don't matter nearly as much because we need the binary outcome to smash, right? So when people come out and they build like just one-offs or whatever, they can win, but like over time, the value of stacking will be considerably more. And you kind of have to elongate your view and your timeline of win rates because you can't get caught up into like, did I win today or did I lose today? because there's so much variance in baseball that you just turn the page and you have to treat it as like, hey man, I'm playing like 200 slates this year, or I'm playing 100 of the 162 slates this year. I have to elongate my vision, because if I'm playing fully contrarian, I have to know that I'm playing, less projectable plays. But then if I'm also playing, super chalky, I have to know that even when I get there, it's going to overlap with everybody else as well. So there's so many wrinkles to it. What do you think about a little Solaire power here?
Yeah, let's mix up with some Solaire.
Let's do it. Another evergreen thing is much like in football, just tracking, who has a quarterback already is who has a pitcher, right? So we know that we don't have to take a pitcher there because Hochberg already has his pitcher taken for. So now we can have our free choice of who's left with the pitchers here. Do you want to scroll to that Matthew Boyd play that you liked?
Yeah.
That we liked? All right, let's do it. All right, so we get 34 ADP pitcher. We get 3 guys north of 34 in the stack, and then we kind of get 2 of the chalk hitters at the top there that we think are good plays today. Tap in on what some of the smart people in the community are doing here. We get a 3-man Boston plus a 2-man St. Louis. That is going to be a very contrarian St. Louis. We get a 3-man Baltimore with 2 contrarian Milwaukee mixed in there from Awin. We get this, what do we got? 2-2-1 out here from King Dubs. Good pick there. And then we got Best Ball Viper going, I know all the best plays. Here's my 5 one-offs of the night. Yeah. Eyes on your own paper. Love it. Okay, Nez, let's keep ripping here. We got about an hour until lock. You can get some drafts in. I'll get some drafts in here.
All right.
Yeah. What other stuff are we missing right now that that you're kind of festering under the surface right now that you're like, ooh, I want to get in a lobby and do this right now?
Trying to looking at these lineups here. I don't think I'm going to do David Hamilton. Shout out to Awen for that one, but I think I'll do a little bit more Andrew Vaughn though.
Yeah, I like that.
Batting cleanup. That looks fun. I think in terms of contrarian angles, I'd like to do a little more White Sox against Jacob Mizorowski.
Okay.
Would you like? I don't know. The only 2 that I really want to draft against him are like Montgomery and Vargas. But you got faith in your boy Austin Hayes, who's now an everyday player.
I like him more versus lefties. Obviously, resetting the notion that Austin Hayes is a lefty killer. Yeah, I would have liked to do Murakami more than Austin Hayes today, but yeah, infield's like a little bit scarce. So if you can diversify with outfield's a little bit scarce today. If you can diversify with any outfielder, I wouldn't fault you. Like he's going to be hitting 5th, and he's going to hit right behind those guys. Like, Benintendi will be in that lineup as well. He gets the handedness, and it's a okay park for lefties comparative to righties. So either of them I'd be fine with.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here's an interesting, we'll make this pick here. I kind of want to do some red stuff in this one. So I think I'm going to let Crochet go here, but Reds don't really have outfielders to pair with. So maybe like Jordan plus another outfielder and then a contrarian Reds 3-man of infield.
Yeah. Do Jordan, and what do you think about just like doing Pete Crow Armstrong, because so many people are going to stack it?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Yeah.
Like,
it's okay. I'm really off Cubs just in a vacuum today. Like that weather looks so bad to me. But he can score fantasy points in different ways than other guys. So just using it as a one-off feels okay.
Yeah, just like doing it in a contrarian fashion and not stacking it. Because I didn't draft a single Cub stack.
Yeah, I think I did maybe one. and I did it like fully contrarian. Like I didn't even include PCA. I did it like Hap and someone else. I can't remember.
Rangers lineup is out.
Okay, cool. We'll take a look and give me 1 second because I want to ask you this question because I want to go back to these 4-1s and stuff like this because this is conversations that we have a lot on this program. And throughout the season, you're going to see a lineup with a bunch of one-offs win. And maybe today's a better day for it than other days just because there's low implied run totals across the board. You're going to see 5-man stacks win. You're going to see 4-man stacks win. You're going to see, 3s plus 2s that are like, kind of drafted, but not drafted, like kind of what we just saw with the Boston plus St. Louis thing. We're going to see all different iterations of builds win. Which ones do you think are kind of the best, and which ones do you think are the presumably the most profitable over the entirety of the season?
I think just based on what we've seen in the past, I think 3-1-1s are going to be the main money maker this year.
Okay.
Yeah, just the amount of times that a 3-1-1 is won last year, I feel like I kind of lost count. And you get the best of both worlds. You get a stack, 2 unique pieces there. Yeah, and it was pretty easy to execute as well when you're drafting in volume.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. We've seen on isolated slates in years, we've seen basically rotating screen names roll through in MLB and show up with the exact same strategy every single year. And someone's going to wind up doing it this year is they come in, they play the slates at max volume, they draft 5-man onslaughts and a pitcher, and they just auto draft like the hell out of it. And they get like crazy contrarian where they're doing like, 6 through 9 in the order tacked on to like one stud or whatever, like that kind of mantra. And it has shown profitability. It's not the most enjoyable or fun or hand-buildy way to play, but someone's going to be doing it every day in every lobby. Those are the lobbies that I like to take advantage of some of the ADP fallers to mix and match when someone else is doing that to counter by being like, oh, I get a combo that maybe nobody else has, like Gunner plus Kyle Schwarber, and just take advantage of that dynamic in a room. But I tend to agree with you, Nez. I think the profitability on, slate size matters a lot, but on a slate like today, in these like 8 gamers and stuff like that, the 3-1-1s just stand out, and they've shown profitability for multiple years now. The 3-2s actually wound up being overutilized, and it was a flaw in my game for a while. And it's just old habits die hard that I would still do that a lot, but they could still win, obviously. But just when we went back and looked at the data that we were able to scrape, basically, those were some of our findings.
Yeah, I tried to avoid the 3-2s and like 2-2-1s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well said. I'm going to go ahead and take Matt McLean here. We're just executing that red stuff that we talked about. Get 3 of these reds in there with Sal Stewart, Eugenio Suarez, and Matt McLean, who could definitely be hitting 2-3-4 today, maybe 2-3-5, something like that, pending where they put Ellie and where they put TJ Friedel and Mlb. And then at the pitcher position, we could go with that Matthew Boyd yet again, but let's go ahead and switch it up for the people. And let's take Nick Pivetta. Nick Pivetta pitching at home, maybe some difficult shadows. Detroit had some swing and miss last year, but maybe a little less so this year, just given the construction of their lineup and like adding McGonigal at the top there, who doesn't strike out a lot. But Pivetta has some big outlier peaks in the strikeout department when things go right.
Yeah, he's going to be an interesting one today, I think, because really really low in the ADP, and like you said, we know he has a really high ceiling. Yeah, the Tigers lineup to me just kind of comes off as like a difficult matchup, but we'll see.
Right on, dude. Some other stuff that we, kind of mess around with and look at each day here on the Fangraphs page. If you go to, where is it? Projections. No. It's under. How did I get here? I literally just did it. Good radio for the people. Oh, under scores, and then to the probable pitchers tab, and you can just kind of, customize and arrange the stats and stuff. So just kind of looking at like home run to fly balls for like, some of the sample sizes are smaller because Cade Savali only threw 48 innings last year, but he has the highest home run to fly ball from last year. You can look at some of the power that was against him, whether guys are ground ball guys or fly ball guys, what guys, strikeout rates look like, and just mixing around with some of the advanced stuff. I like to look at home run to fly ball. I like to look at, some of the hard hit data. So like if you go to the batted ball stuff, and then you can go ahead and just see like, did they give up hard contact? Did they give up pull side power? Did they give up, some of that stuff? If you look in the advanced metrics as well, and just mess around with, kind of some of the splits. And sometimes it's double counting because the projections bake a lot of this stuff in, but it's also just like progressive learning, right? Where it's like, the projection for Caleb Durbin on a day like today is never going to out project Trevor Story. But we have to find a reason to be like, why is this a good play or why is this a bad play? And these just kind of like micro things that we look through.
Yeah. Good info, good page here. I haven't actually played around on this page yet, so that's it's just an easy way to kind of look at who's on the slate today and how to compare some of their stats. Even if you're, like you said, like even if you are double counting like a little bit, who cares? You're just trying to find a new angle, trying to find a piece of information that is interesting to you to, get like inspire some new stack ideas. Because the one thing with drafting baseball at volume, it sort of feels like at a certain point you're throwing shit at the wall. So it's kind of nice to like find a stat and like lean into that. Like, oh, I think that's actually like not being baked in enough, and making that your thesis.
Yeah, exactly, man. Well said. Michael, here, I'll just drop that in the chat for you. The link to it there. Hopefully that transfers there. But I just walked you through it. Roll the tape back like 30 seconds and you can see how I got here. Other stuff, wanted to take a look at there. We were just talking about some of the new lineups rolling in there. Make sure you got your push notifications on. Looks like we got the Angels while we were talking there. The Soler power is hitting fourth in that one. So we get this Neto, Trout, Soler, Jan Moncada in there as well. Adele, Logan O'Hoppe, who's got some, 20 plus power, is a little bit buried down there in the righty versus Hunter Brown matchup. Philly stuff rolled through, kind of par for the course, but nice to see that Crawford gets the opening day start in center field there. Marsh is in left field. So some of his playing time looks decently secure. This new look Rangers lineup, I didn't see anybody draft Nimmo yet, but Nimmo's leading off lefty, which is just, par for the course. It's something they continued to do with the Mets, but encouraging to see there. But you guys could see here, we get Haggerty out in left, former DFA'd Mariner there. But we get McCutchen at the DH spot there, hitting in the middle versus a lefty instead of getting Evan Carter. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, Kutch not in the player pool. He was a bit of a late addition to the Rangers squad, but he's going yard tonight.
Woo! Love it, dude. Love it, dude. What's crazy is the most recent nugget on Evan Carter, if memory serves, in the Dinger Streets. Let's see if I can get it still. 17 days ago. It's still here. Expected to see some reps versus left-handed pitching, and they face a lefty on opening day. See ya, buddy. See ya.
Yeah, no shot.
Oh,
no
man.
shot.
Yeah. Project Mayhem, roll the tape back. We talked about Scooball. I don't think he's my 101 today, but it's hard to go against Scooball just because, he's probably the best pitcher on planet Earth, but we have the three best pitchers on planet Earth, and it's fractions of percentile to decide, who you like versus the other. It's a good park to be pitching in, but that's a tough lineup to get strikeouts in. Like San Diego was bottom of the barrel in terms of like strikeout rate last year, and they got a bunch of righties at the top of that lineup. So yeah, I it's not the best strikeout matchup in the world, but he is probably the best strikeout pitcher on planet Earth. So take it for what it's worth. Just mix and match these three as a tier. I don't have a good answer to the test for you.
Yeah. We kind of talked about that.
Yeah. All right, dude. What do you say we keep ripping a couple more? Is there anything else macro you want to hit on?
No, just kind of seeing these lineups come through and kind of analyzing them. I think the Angels got a little more interesting to stack up. All these teams become easier and to stack once we get their lineups and figuring out who's hitting next to each other to kind of maximize it.
Good mental reminder when you are in the lobbies and all the sickos, like a lobby like this, where we have all guys who are watching the show, all guys who are drafting in volume. And when a lineup does come out, you will notice that guys start fighting over said team, especially if there's something funky about that lineup. So it's a good reminder that, hey, when you're in the draft lobbies and a new lineup drops, hey, everyone has the same fucking push notifications on. Everybody has the same idea. It's kind of table stakes at this point. And it's a good time to zig when everybody else zags and like go get your Angels in like 8 minutes when another lineup drops here instead of fighting everybody for Angels right now, if that's the new alpha that just dropped or whatever.
Yeah. It is definitely a trend that you will see 100%. Some fun Angel stuff opened up, I think, with that. Like I like that bottom of the order for stacking purposes a lot.
Okay, cool. What stands out? Ohapi and who was down at the bottom again?
Josh Lowe, Ohapi, Adele, kind of at the bottom three there, I think are like that's a fun little trio. Like that, there's some ceiling there with all three of those guys.
Like it, dude. Yeah. Shout out to the Cheese. Focused on the work today, but love to see it. Appreciate you, my friend.
Nobody works harder than Cheese, man.
Yeah, he's always rolling through. All right, dude. Let's take Kyle Schwarber because you liked Kyle Schwarber today, and I like the players that you like.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, Reds lineup comes through.
We'll take a peek at that. TJ Friedel leading off lefty. So whether you want to play it or not, that's an interesting decision, but just nice to see that he's going to stay in there lefty. McLean goes in the 2-hole. Ellie's switch hitter in the middle there. And then you get this murderer's row of righties all the way down there with Sal Stewart, Eugenio Suarez, Steer, Stevenson, Marte, all got, big time pop. And then you got your boy, Key Brian Hayes, whose glove keeps him at third base every day.
Yeah. How about that? Maybe a little contrarian Key today.
Huh? No thanks.
Huh?
No thanks.
Oh, come on. That's where you draw the line? Unbelievable.
I got to draw the line at fucking Key Brian.
Unbelievable. Look at this guy. Are you scared? What are you doing?
Oh, man.
I thought this was the Badge Bros. What the... We're on the...
Nez, this is an interesting decision all the time here. I'm actually going to take Junior Caminero alongside Kyle Schwarber here instead of doing the Bryce Harper stuff. One, because I think Bryce Harper is more likely to fall in these rooms, and two, because I noticed Junior Caminero going a lot higher than Bryce Harper just in general there. So maybe this is a little bit of a contrarian pairing here in the Sharper rooms.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, obviously.
Yeah. TK wants some alpha on the swaps for what we're going to do with Jackson Churio stuff. Focus on Brewer guys or one-offs. It's going to be hard to focus on Brewers guys. So just because he was an outfielder and he was drafted, the majority of teams today are only going to have two outfielders on them. Should we take Bryce Harper here and stack this up?
I think so.
Okay.
We can get a contrarian Philly to play with that.
Sure. Yeah. Like take
one or two if we wanted.
Yeah. Take an Alec Boehm or something like that.
Yeah. Boehm hitting cleanup.
You give me the micro and I'll give you guys the macro on the swap talk there, Nez. Yeah, give the people the plays that you'd be considering for Churio.
I would probably be, because if you took Churio with the stack, I would probably be looking Sal Frelick's way. Yep. Like just to continue to keep that stack up. If you are looking for, one-off options instead, we talked through a bunch, but one way to kind of like help your decision making is looking at home run odds and seeing who has some pretty decent home run odds, and throwing those guys high in your ranks to try to swap to a one-off homer. I think is another like sharp way to play it.
Love it, dude. The macro that I was going to share with everybody is much like in football, like NBA, we don't have to worry about the positional designation. In football, we always talk about, hey, was a guy in your flex so that you can swap to an infielder or an outfielder. In Jackson Churio's case, the majority of those builds are going to be 2 outfielders, so it's going to have to be an outfield for an outfield swap. And the ones that happen to be 3 outfield builds are going to be like pretty rare. So I'd rank the infielders first in that decision-making tree, basically.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm going to go chalky here, Nez, and go with Trey Turner. And then we're going to find a contrarian outfield one-off.
All right. Not the way I'd play it, but...
What would your move have been?
I probably would have done like Bohm or Stott.
Who do you have a preference between those two today?
Probably Stott.
Yeah, I agree. Ooh, a little Jay Baconator showing off here with the Alec Burleson, Jordan Walker stack. We see that 3-man Baltimore emerge again with that Mavis, so that one's going to be quite high owned. Our guy Topes is doing 2 one-offs that he likes at the outfield position, and then assuming he's going to stack up Texas with Nimmo instead of Langford. We're seeing a full-on Tampa Bay onslaught without Junior emerge. We could do Pete Crow Armstrong as a one-off here, or we could scroll. Who do you like, Nez?
Let's scroll.
Riley Green, a big enough scroll?
Yeah. He's contrarian.
Yeah.
Contrarian enough.
And definitely only going to be primarily drafted in stacks.
Mm-hmm.
Could have pushed our scroll there too, just seeing as though Dap Mavis has 2 outfielders already. Tim has 3, and we got 2 on a Tampa Bay onslaught from Chris. He might have very well just pushed the plane here if he goes Tampa to close.
Yeah. Yeah, the Cardinal stuff is interesting, given Rasmussen's on the mound, fine pitcher, but definitely one of the weaker ones on paper in a good hitting environment, and the team vibes are so low for the team that I don't think a lot of people are going to get to the Cardinals today.
Yeah, there's definitely some they benefit from the weather conditions just as much as the opposition does, and everybody's playing the Tampa side. It's like.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Should we go with the Miz here? We get a little bit of correlation if we go for Christopher Sanchez because of the win correlation. If our stack goes off, is that worth bumping him here?
I like Sanchez, man. Right. I like Sanchez.
Let's do it. I mean, we're talking about the guy who's
a little vulnerable to me. I don't know. Like I gotta see it. I think he's a little up and down. He had some sick moments, but he also had some implosions. So it would be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how he does today, because White Sox were a really cheeky stack last year at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. White Sox. He's got Rangers today.
I was talking about not wanting the Miz.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You were talking about the 1v1. My apologies.
Yeah.
Got it. Love it. I was asking the best logical way to organize your swap / ranks if you have multiple teams drafted. Yeah, unfortunately, dude, you can't go game by game. It's just set your ranks and they swap in kind of thing. So that's why we're talking more of the one-off angle. Most notably today, it's basically just Jackson Churio, unless you were getting like really contrarian with your stacks. Like opening day isn't one that we deal with, quote unquote Q tags, and we know most of the lineups. So yeah. Have 150 lineups, all Pirates stacks.
Yep.
Love to see it.
Enjoy your money. Enjoy your money.
That's the winner. Who's got the torpedo bats? Resetting the torpedo bats of last year. Combo there. Nez, how does your strategy change with the limited entry contests? So like say you have the 5 max contest there, or we have the 3 max triple play, the $3 one, where the fields are about half the size, sometimes like a third of the size of the main slate, but you only have 3 bullets and 3 kicks at the can there. Do you just kind of pick your favorite stacks? Are you more likely to onslaught? What's just kind of some of your thoughts?
Yeah, with the triple play, I always like to go like really contrarian in those, because there's only 3 entries, so you get even like greater leverage than you already do. And it's only like $3, so I feel like better about punting $3 off on a stack that I don't even like, but I want to get contrarian exposure in my portfolio. So I kind of use that as a way to hedge some gross shit on the day.
Respect it, man. Respect it. Do you want to reset an old game that we used to play?
Yeah.
Full stacks, skinny stacks, or fades is just kind of like the mantra of the game. I will jump over to the unabated totals and stuff for the people here. Pirates, fulls, skinnies, or fades?
Full, baby.
Mets.
Skinny, but one full, skinnies, mostly skinny.
Yeah, skinny's the right answer. Just fold is the answer I've been playing today.
Yeah.
I just selected Tariq Skubal in the other. Oh no, I didn't. It's not my turn. I just freaked out. White Sox.
Skinny.
Agreed. Brewers.
Full.
Yeah, full. I agree. Now I selected Tariq Skubal. We'll jump back over in a half second. Nationals.
Fade.
Yeah, full fold. Cubs.
Fade.
Yeah, fold too. Twins.
Skinny.
Agreed. Baltimore.
Full.
Ooh, yeah. I thought you were gonna say fold for a second. I was like, this guy, man.
Nah.
Angels.
I'd say full, man. Angels could be sneaky.
Dude, I think contrarian Angels today is like kind of good. And I am a Hunter Brown respector. It's just that they have so much pop when things go right. So if things go right at all, they go right in like the biggest way possible.
Exactly.
Yeah. Astros.
Skinny.
Agreed. Tigers.
Like skinny.
Yeah, I'm scared about the pinch hit risk of like Kerry Bonds. But if you're starving for outfield and you just go like Riley Green plus Kerry Bonds, it feels good.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. Padres?
Mostly fade. Maybe a one-off.
Maybe. Yeah. I think I could save us the time, and I think fulls for both Reds and Red Sox.
Yeah.
Rangers and Phillies. Rangers first.
Full.
Like it. And then I think Rangers are just skinny for me. But yeah, both are full. Totally fine with it. And last game on the slate, Rays and Cardinals.
Rays skinny because they're hard to full stack, and then Cardinals I'm fading, but
okay,
it'd be really contrarian to do Cardinals today. I think probably one of the more contrarian stacks you could do.
Yeah, I'm gonna say skinnies for both. There, the reason I'd say skinnies only is I don't love the Rays outfield options.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Hunter Brown masterclass. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. The reason we like Angels is because of two things. The Hunter Brown is massive strikeout guy, and it's whatever. But the Angels stuff is binary, right? Like it's literally like they're going to strike out 11 times, or, like 11 times against the starter. They're going to strike out 20 fucking times against all of it. But like, Angels are either going to strike out like 11 times versus Hunter Brown, or they're going to hit 4 home runs. And that just like stacks well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you learn ball.
He could never.
He could never. All right. I took Tariq Skubal and Gunnar Henderson, a little bit of a GM there. I'm leaning towards maybe a Milwaukee skinny here, or yeah, let's do it. Let's take Christian Yelich, get a little chalky here with like a Yelich plus Contreras, probably, maybe Bryce Terang, and then take like 2 contrarian Baltimore and build like a 3-2 or something. I don't know. Where does your mind go with this start?
I would probably do with Yelich, maybe like Contreras and Vaughn.
Sure.
I think Vaughn is like probably an important tack on to the Yelich stuff because he's so chalky.
Mm-hmm.
And then do like a 3-1-1, and then
do another one off. Don't stack Gunner.
Right.
Cool.
And the one off being like Vargas or Montgomery. Well, we couldn't do that. It'd have to be an outfielder. Maybe. We got Skubal, so like a Baltimore outfielder. Right? Well, that's a stack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of struggling to find a solid one off there. Yeah, I'm not sure.
One offs in the outfield are tough today. That was kind of like the crux of like.
Could just throw Sal in there, I guess.
Say again?
Could just throw Sal in there, I guess.
Yeah. I hate Sal. You know that.
It's a stack, though.
WizK saying that winning the triple play last year with a Roman Anthony second deck bomb in Yankee Stadium is what got me hooked on dailies. Love to see it, man. The baseball sweat is like nothing else, especially when you get to like the late window, or even if we're doing like the after dark slate or something like that, because you're always live. You're like, dude, I'm like 1 inning or 1 swing away from like just breaking the slate. So it's like never sweat, but it's like always fucking sweat, right?
Yeah. It's way more of a fun sweat because it's just like you're just waiting for an at bat,
Right.
And you get your at bat, and then when you're like, man, if you could just homer here, like you make promises to yourself, and then it actually happens, and then it's just like, oh man, it's the most euphoric feeling ever.
Interesting stuff from Chris there. He goes with Crochet, who will get the win in quality start, presumably if Boston goes nuke. So he goes 4-man Boston, but he can't do 6 Boston players in a lineup. So we're going to see he's going to take a contrarian one-off there, which is going to be quite interesting to just see who he takes. Maybe just take Taylor Ward here and then, trust that Vaughn is unique enough to bring it all home. And if for whatever reason we get sniped on Vaughn, we could just go ahead and take like Samuel Basallo or something like that.
Yeah, Basallo is a fun one-off.
Well, it's part of the stack.
I keep forgetting that we're building Baltimore here, but Basallo is a fun pick. I mean, he was a really exciting pick for a lot of people. I'm not sure how popular he will be today, so that's part of the thesis.
Mm-hmm. Adolis revenge game one-off. Revenge game in his first game away. That's actually crazy. I actually didn't even put that together at the start of the program there.
Yeah. That'd be something.
Yeah, first game not as a Ranger, and he plays the Rangers. Like, that's crazy. I don't think he's a big enough dude to Andrew Vaughn revenge game too. Wow, holy smokes. All right, Tariq Skubal plus Gunnar Henderson, kind of a contrarian start there. That might be like it's not a combo that's only replicated like 5 or 6 times, so we're instantly unique in that regard. But then we double down on the uniqueness angle by getting an Andrew Vaughn, who's hitting 4th and was a really good hitter for the latter half of last year. 23 minutes to lock. Going to keep pushing through these web gems. Maybe do probably 2 more of these, and then I think we'll be there, Nez.
Yeah, and then I can turn on Peacock for the opening day.
It's Peacock?
Yeah, NBC or Peacock.
Okay.
So it is
I
national.
Didn't realize NBC
I think it is Natty
baseball,
TV.
bro.
I'm pretty sure.
It used to always just be like ESPN all day long on opening day, like game after game after game. Is that still happening today or no?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because they got rid of Sunday Night Baseball too. No, it looks like NBC and Peacock. Here you go. It looks like MLB TV for like everything. So regional telecasts.
Yeah.
And then Peacock and Peacock are the 2 kind of coast to coast games. So they get the Mets and Pirates first game there. And then we get Los Angeles and Arizona. That's kind of a shame because just to reset some of the good principles in baseball, Mets broadcast is like the 101 of broadcasts. So that's kind of a shame there.
They're all right.
Unless they are the NBC crew. They're all right. They're the 101, bro.
They're all right.
Pirates are the Detroit Pistons of regional coverage.
I'm not going to tout the Pirates coverage.
Yeah, it's bad. All right, let's take Skeens here and just find some contrarian stacks to get going here. But let's start it off a little bit different. Mets. Oh my gosh, guys.
Keith Hernandez just sucks.
All right, I'll give it to you.
I can give you broadcasts I don't like more than I can give you broadcasts that I like.
Yeah.
Like,
out the deck.
Wow, what a ball knower.
That is a ball knower. Here you go, man. Audibles goes with that stack that I really like there, which is not actually a stack, but just that 2-man. Jordan and Anthony and Schwarber. So all the usual suspects are going here. Dude, it feels like it's Byron bust season.
It is. Right. Yeah, he was one of my favorite outfielders when I first got into the dailies 2 days ago now.
Yeah.
When it first came out, I was like, oh yeah. Project Mayhem says Keith Hernandez sucks is blasphemy. Blasphemy.
I don't mind Keith Hernandez. I like that broadcast, dude. Yeah, like I used to love the White Sox broadcast like before. Like I loved it with Hawk Harrelson. Like just full-fledged homerism. I loved it. Dude, let's get crazy with this one. We're going Ryan Jeffers here. Ooh. We like him as a little bit of a pick to click there. Right-handed power playing a little bit better in Baltimore. He's a lefty killer as well. So go ahead and put that in there.
I'm sure this didn't make your way to your timeline, but did you see Pirates City Connect uniforms leaked?
No, not yet.
They looked way better than the ones that they had previously.
That's good.
But the person that leaked them was from like a Pirates group chat that some of my friends are in, and it was a big controversy because the guy posted them, and then someone leaked them, and he found out who it was, and he was so pissed.
That's good shit.
Why you got to blab about that? Like, why do you need to leak? Why do you got to like?
Yeah,
it's for the group chat. You know, it's like
yeah,
it's like telling your wife what your buddy said in the locker room. Like, what are you doing that for?
Yeah. So why are you snitching on yourself, bro?
Yeah. It was funny to see because I used to be in that chat with those guys.
I like this shout, man. Belandy saying, why don't we go Brewers secondary stack here? I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's cook up a little Brewers here. let's start with Rake Bowers. Let's get it.
Why not?
Rake Bowers on the all-time my guys list for sure. Dude, I don't like Jason Benetti's gotten better. I don't like him though. I don't like that he's on the nationally televised games. And maybe it's because I'm spoiled because Mariners have like Aaron Goldschmidt or whatever, and he's like the goated national guy now. But like Jason and Matt Verskirchen have always rubbed me the wrong way. Like they're just not my guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to them enough to have like a strong take on them, I don't think.
Yeah, sure. That's entirely fair. Not like this show. I like Rex. I'm in on Rex. I like Royals broadcasts. I like Rex. Matt tries way too hard. That's the perfect. That's the first.
Matt Vescourge. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I know Matt Vescourge. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like MLB Network and did the show and whatever. Like he did the Netflix game last night. Yeah, like a theater dude or something.
We didn't even talk about the Netflix game.
Yeah, wasn't much to talk about. It was like it was over after Logan Webb got smashed around, kind of thing. He had a really dominant.
I meant the production more than the game.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, sure. Just a bunch of scenic shots, and how many times can we get Jey Uso on screen to cross promote Raw?
Brett Kreischer or whatever the fuck his name is. I'm sure you know his name. I feel like that guy's right up your alley.
I don't know. Do you like David Hamilton or Sal Frelick?
Sal.
Okay. Let's do it. All right, we build out a nice little 3-2 there. Ryan Jeffers, Byron Buxton, and then contrarian left-handed Milwaukee pieces. Shout out to the chat. I can't remember who suggested it, but that was a good one. We got 16 minutes left to fill the secondary contest here. Everything else is full on the platform. Womp womp. He wants David Hamilton so bad. If anyone's telling us David Hamilton's the play, David Hamilton, it might surely be the play.
I refuse. I just can't. I can't side with the devil. when anyone's on David Hamilton, like, sorry, man. There's just I can't be a part of that.
Yeah, Dad Mavis saying any love for Aaron Goldschmidt. I like Goldschmidt. I think he's good now. Originally, I was like a little apprehensive on him because he was a little bit like Veskurgeon, where he was like a try hard and he was like trying to be like, he was trying to level up, right? Like you could tell he was like a guy who loves his day job, and he was like, I'm here to try my hardest and brown nose my way to the top, and it's fucking worked for him. But like, he just didn't seem like a dude that you'd want to chill with. And that's kind of like my 101 of like baseball broadcasting, because there's so much dead air. It's so chill that it's like, I just want to hang with this dude, and maybe that's why Consigliere is saying that like radio broadcasts still slap better than the TV
they do.
ones.
Yeah, they're the 101. It's hard to get an announcer that's good, right? Color commentator, you're way more likely to be a chill guy. I think the announcers, that's definitely a harder ask to be a chill, cool announcer that does a good job of playing off both. But I think Joe Block for the Pirates does a really good job of doing that.
Okay.
He's underrated. Pirates fans don't like Joe Block.
Yeah.
Because they like Greg Brown, because Greg Brown's way more animated and the worst. But I think Joe Block is really chill. He's like so knowledgeable about the history of baseball. He has good calls. Like, he gets fired up when he needs to get fired up, things like that. Mm-hmm. I think Joe Block's pretty underrated. That's my home race take.
All right. I respect it. I'll give it another chance. I'll listen to it. I'll see what's up here. When you say Joe, I just forgot like one of the GOATs. Like Joe Davis is like good. Like Joe Davis is he might be the new like gold standard, and they pushed him through the ranks like quickly to fill the Joe Buck role with like the Dodgers stuff, then the biggest TV contract with the Dodgers, and then the national TV stuff. and then he was doing like World Baseball Classic and all that stuff. Like he's kind of replaced the Aaron Goldschmidt and Matt Viscursions with Joe Davis. He's goated.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of these guys like named. Like I'd have to like hear them. I don't have a file cabinet in my brain for these guys.
This is a good shout from Dogman Chill that the OG combo of Sunday Night Baseball of John Miller and Joe Morgan really made me fall in love with baseball in my teenage years. Like when I would play a doubleheader on Sunday and then come home and I would eat a pizza and listen to them on Sunday Night Baseball as I iced like my knees from catching all day, basically. Like I have very positive, vivid memories of like Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN.
Yeah. Good memories for sure.
Mm-hmm. Project Mayhem still going on about your teeth or Nandez sucking.
In the trap house with Doc and Strawman. Hey man, no one's arguing about his affinity for partying and his ability to party back in the day. Shout out to them for living their life. I'm just saying I don't like him on the broadcast.
Yep, that's fair. I will allow it.
That's it, and that's all.
Another goated duo that we haven't brought up yet is the Giants, man. Giants broadcast. I don't have to take a picture because the picture's already spoken for. So I'm like, let's take Byron Buxton again here. Okay. I like Buxton, and then we'll take Garrett Crochet, and then maybe we just do a contrarian 3-man with this. But dude, Giants broadcast, like Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Kruko, and those two guys were like old school baseball guys, been together forever. They're like best of friends, and you can hear it stem through on the broadcast. Nice. And they did like all the old ass baseball games. Like they did like MVP baseball 05. They did like triple play back when we were like kids, like those old games. So they lived rent free, and they had some great like baseballisms that were like kind of like why am I blanking on? Kind of like Hawk Harrelson, but not as like crazy. Like Hawk Harrelson was like the catbird seed and duck snort and these kind of like outlandish phrases that only he said. Yeah. Whereas they were like, grab some pine meat, like when a strikeout went down, and it was like, oh yeah, that's fucking cool, man. Like these guys know what's up.
That's cool. I don't know how much fun it is to listen to me hate on people, but like, I just couldn't tell you way more guys that I don't like. Like the Padres guys. No, thank you. That is not my cup. That is not my cup of tea.
The Friar faithful all rises.
Oh my God, bro. Give me literally just like stab my ears. And then our guy Consigliere wants a Costas. Anything Costas is an automatic no. That's a hell no for me, my friend.
Yeah. Get Costas out of my life forever. I'm good. I liked Joe Buck. Like
I like Joe Buck a lot.
Yeah, some of the Joe Buck stuff will live rent free in my head forever. Like the David Freese home run to send it to Game 7. It's like, we'll see you tomorrow night. And
that was great.
It's like it's so epic. Like he was good.
Yeah, he improved a lot, and I wasn't listening as intently when he was bad. Mm-hmm. So like now I think Joe is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And you just associate him with the moment too.
Sure. Yeah.
The big games.
Dude, why don't we do a little contrarian Boston 3-man here that we haven't tapped into yet on stream?
Sure.
We did Contreras. We said we liked them. We already got Garrett Crochet on this team. Let's take some of those Red Sox lefties and just be like, handedness be damned. Willer Abreu can still take you deep. Jarren Duran can take you deep kind of thing.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. Let's do
Durbin
Willer.
is such a fun play today. He's like one of my favorite plays.
Caleb?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it too. Maybe that's how we end the show. We get a little pick'em lobby with a Caleb Durbin homer or something like that. Yeah, of course, we're on stream, and Willer Abreu gets sniped from us to a unstacked team. Sure. Fuck. We're gonna need an outfielder, so I'll just take Duran instead, and then we'll take Durbin and or Navarez if they come back here. Shout out to the asset, one of Best Ball Vipers buddies. Haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
It's an OG throwback. If people remember, two of the first guys ever to buy Badge Bros t-shirts and then send a picture in the wild before we even knew that they were good at the games. Just knew that they were friends of the show, and they sent us like pictures when we had like 20 viewers, and they were wearing Badge Bros shirts for a meetup in New York.
That was so cool.
It was very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to those guys, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna poo-poo as hard as Nez. I find the Padres broadcast entertaining, but I understand why someone who's not a Padres fan wouldn't like it. Can of corn. There you go. There's a layup hawkism back in the day.
Can of corn.
Yeah. Lazy fly ball, center field. Joe Buck unfairly. Yeah, agreed. Wow. Coach was at that game. Fuck, freeze.
Dude. I'm sorry for you.
Yeah.
That is awful.
Our guy Troy saying where all my Reds fans at for Marty and Joe. I got to give some Reds broadcasts a little tap in a little bit more. I find myself watching a lot of Colorado and a lot of Reds just because we stack those ballparks so frequently.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Colorado broadcast.
I have to like reorient myself with these broadcasters, because a lot of time I'm bouncing around so much. It's really the West Coast guys that I tend to see more of, because that's when my family's asleep and I can actually sit and watch an Island game.
Yeah, one of the color guys, Spilly. Ryan's Spielbergs or something like that is I like him on the Rockies broadcast. He's like kind of like the ex-player, like, but not household name ex-player, like journeyman ex-player kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's good. All right, let's see where we're at here. We got 5 minutes. One last web gem, and maybe we get a Caleb Durbin pick him in there and call it.
Yeah,
I imagine
get a Caleb Durbin pick him in.
All right, I imagine you're getting some in on the side there too.
I'm browsing.
Yeah, I'm browsing. All right, I got you.
I'm trying to. I'm pricing. I might have found the winner.
Okay. Cleveland Broadcast Elite. I venture to guess Cleveland's one of my least watched teams, and that's very unfair to Jose Ramirez, who's a goddamn superstar and an absolute stud. But like, I never have fun watching Cleveland games because the park's not fun for homers. It's a little bit better now with the wind tunnel out to right, but like, I just never really watched a ton of Cleveland games for whatever reason. Like maybe when I'm like back in the day when it was like Cliff Lee and CC Sabathia, but like I don't know. It was always like good pitching and not that much action and whatever. It was more of a local broadcast market for me.
Yeah, they play kind of early too for you, so maybe not. It just doesn't line up with prime viewing hours for you. Also, they always have one of those earlier games.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, well said.
Rarely on the main slate type of deal whenever they're home.
Yeah. Whiskey. As a Guardians fan, a lot of the time I also don't have fun watching Cleveland games. Nez, you call the shots here on this last one. It's been a lot of me just driving the bus as we chat. Who do you like?
Let's start with Skeens.
Cool. Skeens, would you agree that Skeens definitely has the toughest matchup of the three starters today?
No, I think Scooball's is tougher.
Okay. Just because San Diego doesn't strike out a ton?
Yeah, and they got some strong righties too in their lineup.
Okay. Hey, there's our guy, Eyes on Fences, a.k.a. the chess
Oh,
move.
geez, he must have slept in. That's the first time I've seen him today.
Yeah, renowned onslaughter of stacking.
He's putting together an Angels one over here with me.
Okay. Angels push the plane, baby. Jan Moncada, let's get it.
Little Nolan Shanwell.
Oh, God. Not a Seanwell guy. He's just like, he's so James Loney. Like, just takes up first base when you can have a first baseman with 30 homer power who hits 230 instead. And he's just like, I'm going to play first base, but I'm going to hit 280 and be okay against lefties so you can't platoon me. And I'm only going to hit 12 home runs a year. And maybe one of them matters.
And he's like a big guy.
Right.
Like why is that? Like, why aren't you hitting for power, bro? You're a bigger guy.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, I perfectly nailed the comp with James Loney.
I'd have to look him up.
Former Dodger and Ray, I believe. And he was like a dude who hit like 290, 300 and played first base, but never hit, gun to my head, never hit over 12 home runs. Maybe hit 15, maybe, but like, it was like, hey, I'm just going to hit 290. I'm going to walk sometimes, but I'm never, ever going to strike out. I'm never going to run. And I'm maybe going to hit like 10 home runs. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of my Sean.
James Loney's a smash. Yeah, he was just doing the Cudsicular was just doing the stat line, and he stopped at like 250, 285 and 12. Like that's perfect. Yeah. Ooh, Hosmer's a pretty good one too. Hosmer's a pretty good one because it gives you the potential that he could get to 20 home runs one time. TK 2007, 15 home runs. GG, you're dead. Good shit. That's got to be a career high, man. That's got to be a career high. Nathaniel, what are you thinking here?
Well, depends.
Okay.
What are you in the mood for?
I was going to say, what if we did like Bryson Turner without, oh, damn it. And then I was going to say, we'll do Adele and like those guys in the outfield.
Yeah.
Why don't we just do Angels and fuck them? Because I wanted to do this like Soler and Trout or Soler and Lowe.
Let's see what he ends up doing if you do that.
Okay. Do you prefer Soler and Trout or we got to get a Michael Nelson on stream.
Yeah. Give this guy the winner by making him draft Josh Lowe.
Yeah. Because I imagine he's just doing Onslaught Angels anyways. Yeah. Like I thought he would have just pushed the plane, but it's our last draft too, and we wanted to do Angels.
Yeah. Yeah. He's I don't know if he knows that he can push the plane or not, I suppose.
Yeah. Points to Quant. That's good. Yeah, remember the Hosmer deal? Like Hosmer getting the bag from Slam Diego, and they were like, "Oh, we got fucking first base locked, baby. We're gonna put him and Matt Kemp and Justin Upton together, and we're gonna go to the World Series."
That was pretty unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't even that good. Like he was good, but he wasn't like, oh my God, give this guy the deal, give this guy the bag good. Like it was like his best season by far, and he barely touched 500 slug for a first baseman.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, we absolutely got to give this guy everything we got.
What's Hosmer's? Do you have it up right now? What's Hosmer's like biggest home run season?
25.
Okay.
He had back-to-back 25 home run seasons with the Royals.
Okay. Yeah. Padres fans were only beginning to learn Preller. That's so true. I mean, it's been bad since then, you know. Jamal Hodgebrony, thanks for the reverse jigs out of left field. Reverse jigs on Jamal Murray last night. Actually, shout out to Nez. We didn't talk any hoops today, but finished second in the contest last night.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I pulled up Jamal to the 2-3 turn with my Joker team.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well done.
First place did it unethically. He got him at the 4-5 turn, but I took him 2-3.
Wow, good for you. Well done.
Jam clinging because always clinging.
Dude, he was popping. Dude, shout out to the unabated projections last night.
They finally gave him some respect.
Dude, they slapped. Like unabated projections had like clinging super high. I guess like Denny was just like a little bit of a miss, but like the way they flipped around the first like top of the draft boards slapped. And then they had some of the back end guys like Paul George popping in a big way, Embiid popping, like all those guys slapped. Like it was really impressive night last night for unabated.
That's awesome. Good for them. Good for us. That's sweet. I mean, Paul George was on that team that I had too. Right 19% on that one. One of my very few shares, I will say, but.
And the Evergreen notion that it didn't end up mattering at all with the what do we do with Utah stuff. You know, right. It was just Juju Reese that was what you needed on the other side. If Joker didn't go almost 2020, I had a Juju Reese team that was cooking with Wemby. It had like all 50 burgers. It was like Wemby, Embiid, Duran, and then it was we just had Moncada goes there. We got to make this pick. Dude, what if we go the Milwaukee only without an outfielder?
Okay.
Dude, like everyone's going to do Yelich in their Milwaukee stacks. So if we go Brewers, we can go with like Willem Contreras, Rake, and Vaughn, or we can do it with like David Hamilton.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. Everyone's going to have Terang or Yelich in there. So let's go. You like Vaughn or Rake Bowers more today?
I like Vaughn.
Okay. Yeah, handedness be damned. Doesn't matter. We got it. I like this. Yeah. Anyways, the what were we talking about? The team. Oh yeah. And then I was out with some buddies last night because we were watching the baseball game as well, and the like post hockey, and the Kawhi game was on because it was Raptors game, nationally televised. So I was like, oh, come on, keep this close enough to Kawhi cook. And then Kawhi went a little nuke at the end of the fourth, and then they pulled all the starters with like 4.5 minutes left, and it was like, oh, damn. But Joker went too crazy for it to matter.
Mm-hmm. I was keeping a close eye on that one. I wasn't sweating, like, because I thought I was dead. And then and I even told Zakarian, I was like, yeah, I think I'm dead today. Mm-hmm. Like I'm like nowhere close. And then he just said LOL. I was like, oh, okay. And but I didn't.
It always happens that way, man. It always happens that way.
I'm like, oh yeah, my brain can't comprehend like an 11-game slate halfway done. Yeah. And just seeing like a 300 on top of the leaderboard, I'm just like, yeah, like my best team has 240 right now, but there's like 4 games left to tip, and I just like can't rationalize that. Yeah. So I just stopped sweating, and I didn't sweat. But I've been sweated a lot this NBA season. I will say, like I kind of stopped, and I just like check my winnings like once or twice, and if I see like I got a good one, then I just like I don't even sweat it.
Yeah, you don't go like searching for like, hey, do I have legs with something?
Right. Yeah. Like who am I? Unless it's like the very end and I'm holding first. Like, sure. Yeah, I'll do that. But otherwise,
you only do the ugly sweats then.
Yes.
Those are the toughest ones when you're not chasing, when you're holding. Like those are.
Yeah. At the very end, has to be like last game, has to be like fourth quarter.
Right. Yeah. Maha Jabroni, it's Joker, the pound for pound greatest daily play of all time across any sport. I think so. I don't think it's really. It's kind of just like the consistency matched with the ceiling on every single night is just insane.
Yeah, I 100% agree. He is like the biggest like game record that I've seen since I've been playing this consistently.
Yeah, love it. All right, dude. Last draft here. Our guy Troy goes with that contrarian Reds and Milwaukee skinny there, and then uses Pete Alonso as a one-off. The hot Sizos is out here cooking up that Schwarber Harper, and then goes with a skinny Anthony plus Story, and then uses Bregman as a one-off. Brad, aka one of the OG MLB goats, goes with Crochet. Then goes Ward and Alvarez are the one-offs, and then goes contrarian St. Louis infield 3-man with Mason Wynn mixed in there. That's the first time we've seen him get drafted. The chess man goes full Angels onslaught, but we took a couple of them from him. Son of Dad goes with a I know the best plays. Here are the best plays 5-man. And we go ahead and add on Rake Bowers, even though my guy Awen wants me to take David Hamilton. I'm taking Rake Bowers on this one. We go Skeens, 3-man infield Milwaukee that's all correlated in the batting order, and then 2-man home run, skinny stack here with Jorge Soler and the greatest baseball player to ever live, ? Michael Nelson Trout.
I'm gonna debate that on another day, but fun way to close out. I know we're closing now, but I do gotta head out.
Yep. We gonna call it a show right there. Get our swaps in. Make sure you get your swaps in for, by the looks of it, some of your Rays stuff as well, because we do not have Chandler Simpson. Couldn't be me ever drafting Chandler Simpson.
Same.
But he is not in the lineup there versus a lefty. So yeah. Maybe a little Ben Williamson action in our life. Traded former Mariner there. But yeah, that's the most recent update. We got the Rays lineup 5 minutes ago, and that is that. So good luck to everyone today, opening day. Enjoy it. Don't sweat your lineups too early in the day. Do not victory lap unless you hit 2 nukes in the first window there. Just enjoy the baseball. Sit back, relax, watch it all day. We'll be back tomorrow, probably forward-facing, probably talking more baseball tomorrow, just getting hyped for this opening day style stuff. And then the balance, kind of the rest of the way here, because this is a really hectic, month and a bit here. We're going to kind of be doing a little bit of the bro science-y, not maybe full-fledged deep dives like you're accustomed to with NBA, but kind of like we did yesterday, where we do like a little bit of each sport, an hour on each or something like that, where we get all our takes out, all our plays out, we share our insight, but we don't do full rotation breakdowns, game by game, like that sort of thing.
Yep. Yeah. Busy season. So we're going to do our best to give you everything.
Yeah, we will try our best. All right, guys, best of luck today. Back tomorrow at the regular scheduled time, 2 p.m. Eastern, because it is a later slate tomorrow. So everybody's favorite time of the show, the end. Happy opening day. Peace.